What's up? Welcome to the video. I am about to read a blog post that I just wrote for a few reasons. I'm going to link it below, so if you would rather just go there, that's awesome with me, obviously, if you'd rather read. But I know, one, a lot of people just would rather consume video. Two, I think there's like 1 to 2% merit in me reading it in my voice. And it's just really, like, I put a lot of time and effort into it. These videos are off the cuff, right? The majority of my videos are off the cuff. My thought process when writing is much more refined. There's more caffeine that goes into it. There's more time and energy into like picking the right words and formulating my ideas more clearly. So, ready? Let's go. I'm into this lighting. I'm super into this lighting, actually. Stanley. It is a fitness channel after all. All right. Impure motivations and legendary outcomes. My heart was racing and my hands were sweating. I nervously took another step toward her front door. With a bouquet of roses in my left hand, my eyes were fixated on the doorbell. At 16 years old, this was nerve-wracking stuff. But let me be clear. This was not your ordinary boy meets girl, mini golf, ice cream, round second base in your parents' basement with a muted 10 Things I Hate About You playing in the background kind of love story. No. You see, the high school sophomore version of Mike Vacanti was far more pathetic than that. This was not a date. This was a one-man Hail Mary effort involving a ding-dong ditch strategy with red roses designed to win the heart of a girl who had me buried in the depths of the friend zone. However, armed with blissful cluelessness, I pressed forward with my strategy, carefully placing the flowers between her front door and screen door, ringing the doorbell, and taking off in a dead sprint back to my crew of misfits, Tony and Arjun, who eagerly awaited my return in our getaway vehicle, my mom's 1995 Ford Windstar. A selfish narcissist YouTuber. Mike Rashid posted a video a while back. He and his crew got together to give water, Gatorade, and food to homeless people in Miami. I scrolled through the comments, to see what the experts had to say. By the way, my YouTube comments are money. I like you guys much, much more than the rest of YouTube comments. That's when I came across this. You are only feeding those people to make yourself look good for your vlog. Ouch. If you weren't filming it, you wouldn't have even done this. I stared at the angry comment for a while, trying to digest its wisdom, and to be honest, thinking about whether or not I agreed with it. That's when it hit me. It doesn't matter if I agree with it. 500 fucking people who don't have food or water are getting food and water. Period. End of the story. I don't care what the hell else is driving this action. There is a reduction of suffering in our world as a result of it. An excruciating childhood. Guess what? After we're done trashing this beautiful planet we live on, we're going to need somewhere else to go. Not you and me, and not our kids or their kids, I don't think, but at some point, being a multiplanetary species is very likely to extend the survival of the human race. What if I told you that some impure motivation, maybe a massive chip on the shoulder of one brilliant South African, was helping us get there? CEO of SpaceX, Elon Musk, recounts his childhood in Ashley Vance's biography. They got my best fucking friend to lure me out of hiding so they could beat me up, and that fucking hurt. For some reason, they decided that I was it, and they were going to go after me nonstop. That's what made growing up difficult. For a number of years, there was no respite. You get chased around by gangs at school who tried to beat the fuck out of me, and then I'd come home and it would be just as awful there as well. Yeah, Musk is a once-in-a-lifetime prodigy, and a rough childhood probably isn't correlated with a 155-plus IQ, which is an estimate. But that emotional trauma sure as hell can provide the motivation necessary for an all-time work ethic. Look hot in a swimsuit for this summer! I always hated sales pages that relied on sex or buyer insecurity. In fact, I still do. My current online coaching sales page, which I wrote many years ago, hinges upon being the best version of yourself in life as the primary reason anyone should dial in their fitness game. But let's open our minds for a second. Jenny, a 32-year-old mother of 3, with 2 boys, 1 girl, ages 11 months, 3 years, and 6 years. Jenny buys a $40 workout program called Get Strong and Fit for Summer that talks about feeling good in a bikini in the sales copy. Jenny's your average non-fitness enthusiast. She's not looking forward to wearing a 2-piece on her family vacation next year. It is important to note that at the moment, reading's hard, guys. It is important to note that at the moment, being active and physically productive from the ages of 66 to 90 are not top of mind for Jenny. So months go by, Jenny executes this training program, the one she bought in hopes of trimming down for vacation. In the process, she falls in love with strength training. It becomes a hobby, and then it becomes a habit, and then it becomes a component of her life. So while Jenny wasn't trying to be more mobile and mentally sharp at her granddaughter's wedding 48 years later, that is what happened. Pretty hard to hate on the guy who sold her this reasonably priced, linear progression-based workout program chock full of compound moves and evidence-based information, even though he was using summer vacation as a carrot, as that is the carrot he believed would move the most product. Now, let me be clear, there's a huge caveat here. Being motivated to look a certain way can and often does lead to obsessions, eating disorders, and a never-ending game of moving the line further out in front of you. There can and often are negative repercussions, so I'm not saying intention is irrelevant, but I will make this statement. In a vacuum where we have two options, be insecure and start lifting, or don't be insecure and don't lift, there is more upside to the cumulative effect of number two, lifting. Is that right? Of the former. I need to edit that. It's better to lift. You got it. I got to remember to edit that. All right, we're getting through this. We're close. A brand new lifter taking his squat to the next level. One of my online coaching clients, I'm such a fuck, I'm going to butcher this, and I feel awful. Jory Dannon detailed, I feel really bad. When you don't talk, when you sit at a computer for 12 or 15 hours a day, and you see words, but you don't actually have to say those words, you just don't know how to pronounce shit, and names are one of them. All right. Detailed some of the motivators behind his journey in a recent blog post, which I would link to you, except it's written in Danish. He was kind enough to translate for me. In it, Jory jokes about fitness being his midlife crisis, as he watches others collect rare gin and cruise the world on a Harley Davidson. He admits that vanity and the thrill of seeing abs for the first time at age 41 is motivating. Not his entire motivation, as long-term health is also a key priority, but part of his motivation. And this drive has resulted in benefits he recognizes daily. Mental and physical strength, better sleep, improved focus, and of course, looking better. A nice perk, he calls it. And then I link to the YouTube video where we see our man squatting and getting better over time. Important side note, would you please, for the love of Jon Snow, subscribe to my YouTube channel to prevent the White Walkers from destroying humanity. Subscribe here. All right, why I started lifting weights. Spoiler alert, I did not get the girl. In fact, the old Ford Windstar only made it one block before Tony Arjun and I witnessed a gruesome T-bone car crash. Luckily, no one was injured, but it was a mess. Both cars totaled. And one car was left wrapped around a pole that happened to be located in Katie Gunderson's neighbor's front yard. So, after dropping roses and a pathetic note off at this girl's front step, I had to stand there with her father and talk to the police about how the accident unfolded. But despite how mortified I felt and how cringy the story is with hindsight on our side, all is not lost. You see, in a brewing mix of adolescent confusion, female rejection, and a desperate desire to make a hockey team, I found a place that would change my life. The Jefferson High School weight room. And through AM skates and lunchtime workouts and late night sprints on the track, working out to get girls changed into something entirely different. I don't remember when exactly the change occurred, within a year or two certainly, but my motivation for training became something else entirely. It was a competition with myself. It was love for the mental place that going through grueling workouts forced me to go. It was lessons in work ethic and self-discipline that transcended the gym and trickled into school, work, and life. And years later, it has become my meal ticket for quitting my job. And years later, it became my meal ticket for quitting my job and helping thousands of people become stronger and more healthy. So in closing, I'd like to use another analogy. If rejection and insecurity were the spark that lit a fire of mental and physical strength that spread further into teaching the subject of fitness, are we really going to dwell on the dishonor of the flint and steel that made that spark? Are we going to see hungry mouths being fed and accuse a man of seeking validation? See a strong, sharp old lady and get mad at an online trainer, if we even have those in 50 years? Will we blame a dude who extends the lifetime of humanity, the lifespan of the human race, for not getting over some childhood trauma? Come on, of course not. Here's my final advice. Yes, do some soul searching and try to understand what is driving you to do certain things. All well and good. But don't be cynical towards positive action, even if driven by questionable motivations. PPS, I am, of course. PS, I was serious about the White Walkers, and on a scale of 1 to Davos, after finding Princess Shireen's wood stag in the snow, I'm pretty damn upset you haven't subscribed yet. All right, I feel like I'm really bad at reading. Let me know what you think of the video. See you tomorrow.